Yeah, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. Guess what? It is December 1st, 2018. Oh my gosh, this year is over. Let me give a shout out to my man Truth Monsters for that Ghetto Boys. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Classic joint right there. Thank you for that song request, Truth Monster. What's good, people? Hope you guys doing well on this Saturday. We're gonna get right into it because got two articles, and one is pretty lengthy. I probably won't even read the whole thing. I'll let you kind of follow up with it and read it yourselves. But I was talking to Crypto Rice about this whole topic, which is crypto anarchy. That's what this whole crypto space was formed around. Libertarianism, anarchists, that whole ideology, right? So it's crazy to see how far from that we've come with where we are today. Looking for validation from the SEC, looking for ETFs, wanting that to really validate cryptocurrencies and push the price up for the people who are already in the game. Guess what? That's not how it's going to happen. They're going to make it to where they get in and then make the rules and push it up and control it. And guess what? The little guys have no say. But there still is some hope, I'm telling you, because cryptocurrencies do allow us to faction off and do our own thing. And if we have the balls, if we have enough faith in ourselves as a people, meaning there's power in numbers, if we can get on that same tune, that same mindset, cryptos really can set a lot of us free, especially in those third world countries. So we're going to take a look at what Slovakia is doing in their movement with crypto anarchists. I think it's good, and something I really want to continue to highlight and push on my channel is the fact that, so many crypto people are just talking about price and where is it going, and understand, at least if you're going to talk about that, understand the root ethos that cryptocurrencies were formed around. And that is being free from government, not permissionless, decentralized, autonomous, all those buzzwords, but it was really about that back in the day. So we'll take a look at that article. And then secondly, I have an article from Decrypt Media, and it looks like Ethereum has a new way of scaling that they're excited about, but they're meeting in secrecy about it and trying to get it done. So we'll take a look at that as well. Man, I tell you. But jump over to cryptoblood.io and sign up for that trading signal for BitMEX, automated trading system, long and short, 366 for 3 months. And you join our webinars, our members only chat room. And I also have a room for the signal that you'll get I'll push the alert through for every signal that we trade, just to make sure you're on top of that. And it's all automated. So if you're interested, check it out. We're up about 230%, 32% year to date now, long and short, as I've stated. And you're able to view the performance on TradingView. I'm currently working on adding EOS. That's what the members voted on for the next algorithm. So we'll have Bitcoin and EOS running on this platform, and I'll be adding possibly 2 more. Just depends on how long it takes. But cryptoblood.io, check it out. So let's take a look at this market cap. We're at 138 billion right now, creeping up, man. We're creeping back up. Bitcoin's dominance is at 53.8%, almost 54, and we're back where, man, our algo tried to enter. Right around 4,200 was where the algo attempted to take that leg up, and the market just dropped. So we're back around those areas. Let's see if we can get above this areas where we stalled out. Around 4,300 is exactly where we stalled out. So let's see if that can happen. If not, we may just take one more leg down to the line here. And honestly, if I zoom in, and sometimes when you're trading, people, you have to possibly adjust your lines after the fact. So I drew it based on what I saw, these wicks right here and right here, point right there. But these two wicks is, basically what I drew this trend line off of before this even happened. So if I move this up to here, you'll see it kind of crosses the bottom part of that area, not the wick. It kind of goes through it, and sometimes I do draw my trend lines through the wick. Just depends on how everything is lining up. But this lines up pretty well. So we've got, like, of course, 1, we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 touches on this line. So that's a pretty valid line right there. So that's how that should look after updating it. Let's see if we can make a new high, or if we'll come back one more time, or fake us. You know, it could be a pump fake. It could do this and then break down, you know. So we'll just keep an eye out on that and maybe go back to that last support area. But the first article is out of Decrypt Media. It says the sort of secret blockchain. Ethereum's new roadmap is ambitious, but its core developers are meeting in a safe space to get the job done. That's very decentralized, isn't it? Here's what's happened today in today's session. It says Ethereum, the granddaddy of blockchain platforms, is making big changes to its underlying code, but unfortunately the platform, which is known to support transparency and openness, is being built by coders in closed door sessions. That rankles some advocates of the platform as well as reporters trying to cover it. From the start, Ethereum core developers met to build out blockchain-based networks, which aims to create global decentralized world computing in scheduled public meetings. But at the 4th annual DevCon meeting in early November, developers began to meet behind closed doors. Apparently, the idea was to avoid provoking controversy and Twitter trolling, say sources who attended today's meeting. That closed door policy is likely to continue indefinitely, the sources say. It's no secret that Ethereum, which is the bleeding edge of blockchain development, is having growing pains. The demand for dApps and corresponding need for faster transaction speeds means the platform will need to scale rapidly, but upgrading the legacy system or moving to a new one causes disagreement. Engineers, like most groups of highly educated experts, can be contentious and sensitive. A lot. There's no lie about that. In an email responding to Decrypt's request to join the meeting, Ethereum developers and meeting organizers said the reality is that some of the core folks don't feel comfortable speaking totally candidly when the press is present. I do think that we need to respect the desire and create a safe space for these discussions. I know, because they're in there talking about, man, this ain't working. I can't believe, we ain't gonna never get this. I can only imagine what they're saying in that meeting. That would definitely probably scare a lot of people in the public. They're probably pulling their hair out right now. EOS and Tron is on that ass, people. I'm trying to tell you. It's not just the press that wants in. So do other interested parties. Indeed, even Ethereum CEO Vitalik Buterin is said to be uncomfortable with institutional private calls as well as private forums. Other proponents of complete transparency who were vocal in last week's open meeting include Greg Colvin, a core developer of the Ethereum virtual machine, and Afri Schroden, release manager for Parity, which is working with Ethereum. Uncontroversial. So it says here, so what went on behind closed doors today? It appears that the developers are steaming ahead with sweeping upgrades scheduled to start rolling out in phases this summer. Oh, now this summer. Remember, we were supposed to start seeing something beginning of 2019. See, I'm trying to tell you guys. But sources who relayed today's minutes spoke cautiously about a number of technical hurdles that must be addressed in the coming months. The meeting was hardly contentious. For instance, among the most controversial of the proposals at the heart of Ethereum 1x, the idea of introducing storage fees or rent for smart contracts. Such charges would curb pressure on the platform to make it more efficient, proponents argue. Oh, sort of like EOS, I would assume, right? The rent idea was pitched as a stopgate measure until sharding is implemented. Sharding increases the amount of resources a database can handle by splitting up the data, but currently demand for dApps and the related ever-increasing numbers of transactions means that a mass of data is weighing the platform down, causing unbounded state growth. and that means that new computers attempting to join the network are finding it harder to download and maintain the Ethereum blockchain. So one of the core developers for the platform, it heads up the working group that's advancing the rent proposal. So later, relaying some of the key points of the meeting on Twitter, Reddit said developers made an impassioned plea for us to save the network from unbound state growth. Left unchecked, there's a possibility that transactions could dramatically increase by 10x, some say, with catastrophic results. A tenfold traffic increase, Reddit said, would cause it to explode and cause the network to shrink to a centralized core of nodes. Various implementations of so-called state rent concepts will now be tested, and there was an agreement on the need for further community engagement and buy-in before moving forward on this, sources says. So there you go. I'll let you guys read the rest of this. I'll leave a link to this in the description of this video. But wow, I'm telling you, and I've said this for some time now, and I used to get flack for it when Ethereum was at $500, $600, $900 a token. To scale something that's already running is like trying to fix an engine that's still running. That's running. You can't do it. It's like, it's very difficult. I won't say you can't do it, but it is very difficult to make the type of changes that Ethereum is looking to make while this thing is running. So I remember when they said they were rolling out Casper and, you know, proof of stake earlier this year. I said not gonna happen. Then about 2 months ago, a month ago, they said we're delaying it. It's gonna be out beginning of January 2019, January, February. I said not gonna happen. So here we are. We'll see how they manage to pull this off. There are a lot of smart individuals in that camp, but it's going to be difficult or damn near impossible to do what they're trying to do. The next article is out of CoinDesk, and oh, I just want to mention Ethereum is going to like 20 bucks or less. Just watch. It says here, crypto anarchists are building tools to resist the state in Eastern Europe. I'm loving this. It says here, quote, "Is this really what Satoshi expected 10 years ago?" That was the question asked by activist Pavel Luptek at the opening of the new Center for Crypto Anarchy. Citing new surveillance infrastructures, relentless taxation, and the adoption of blockchain by state actors, Luptek called for a return to the political vision that underpinned Bitcoin at its inception, or what he calls a crypto renaissance. We need it, that's for sure. The co-founder of the organization in both Bratislava and Prague in the Czech Republic and his associates are fixated on the question of how to use decentralized technologies to liberate individuals from state control. In his eyes, Bitcoin and related cryptocurrencies cannot be distinguished from the political climate from which they arose. That's true. The cypherpunk movement, with its focus on privacy and individual liberty. By providing a radical alternative to the banking system, this vision stands apart from an industry that has, to some, become defined by the use of cryptocurrencies as speculative investments. But this parallel city stands out for its open refusal to cooperate with governments. Its role is nurturing projects that actively antagonize the state, and its mission of providing individuals with the tools to disassociate themselves from it. We use cryptocurrency technologies to keep our community safe and eliminate any negative impacts of political decision made by politicians and democratic masses. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. Got to give a hand clap for that one. In such a future, the role of politicians is completely displaced. Luptek argued, and crypto anarchist communities can withdraw into shadow economies using anonymous cryptocurrencies like Monero. Still, anonymity infrastructure in cryptocurrency has a long way to go, a point noted by developer Frank Braun. According to Braun, a full crypto anarchy tech stack must start off with secure devices. From there, developers can build software that can support anonymous messaging, digital cash, pseudonyms, darknet markets, and physical interfaces that form a link between the digital and the physical world, such as drones. Again, this article is fairly long. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I think this is something you guys should definitely read. Put a mental marker in the back of your head about, you know, these types of movements, because again, this is where it all started, and we're so far from that now. I'm just letting you guys know we are so far from that. So, you know, we got people talking about Litecoin to this price, Bitcoin to this price. It all means nothing if the government has control over the whole system. So let's just make sure that we keep Litecoin. I don't know if we can do that with Bitcoin, but we got to keep these projects, these coins, independent and not succumb to a lot of these regulatory things that these governments with this KYC, AML stuff. So just want you guys to know kind of what's going on in other areas of the world. They're trying to push the true nature of cryptocurrencies, and that's what we should be doing as well. That's pretty much it for today. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Click that bell, share that video. Shout out to my man Truth Monster again for the song request, Ghetto Boys. Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. Well, that's my 2 Satoshis for December 1st, 2018. It's your boy Crypto Blood. I'm out. Holla!